Live streaming. Who's it for and why bother? So I've talked quite a bit on this channel about how I've tried different live streaming services. I've live streamed through YouTube. I've done it on a platform called Sessions Live. And now I've dove deep into the land of Twitch. This particular video is not going to be platform specific, and it's not going to be specific to the type of live streamer that you are potentially looking to become. So this is kind of just for anyone who is interested in live streaming, regardless of your profession. So I'm just going to go through the basics of what you need to get started. And out of all the different topics that I cover, if there's anything that you're looking to learn more about, drop it in the comments and maybe I'll do another video and get more specific on all the settings and that sort of thing. I think live streaming really is the way forward. I've talked about how it's the way forward for musicians, but it doesn't stop there. If you are any kind of business that's looking to sell a product, promote a product, you should be live streaming. It's a different way of promoting products than versus creating something like this, where it's a very kind of specific and edited video. Live streaming is just maybe a little bit more interesting. It's a little more captivating. It's more interactive. Your potential clients can interact with you live. They can ask you questions from anywhere in the world through chat. So it's more interactive, it's maybe a little bit more interesting, and maybe a little bit more exciting because kind of anything can happen. Things can go wrong, and that's part of the excitement, to be honest with you, because things do go wrong. If you're a painter, if you're selling a product, if you're a hairdresser, if you are operating any kind of newer business that you're wanting to draw attention to, then live streaming really to me is a fundamental part of that process. So it's not just for musicians, really it's for anyone who's looking to promote some kind of product or service. So what do you need to live stream? Well, of course we know that you can use your device, you can turn on your iPhone, you can hit that button on Instagram Live and boom, you're up, ready to go. But the drawback of that is that the quality of the video and the audio is really not very good. So I'm going to take one step further and I'm going to say that really you need a computer. At the very least, you need a laptop. Definitely start with something that's 16 gigabytes of RAM or higher from various people that I've spoken to. I'm running on a Mac Mini M1 with 16 gigs of RAM. And I was able to successfully live stream kind of a live composition last week on Twitch, where I was both recording, mixing, and streaming, and without issues. So Mac Mini is a real nice computer to get you going. That's not overly expensive. It's not going to break the bank. Camera. Luckily, you're spoiled for choices in terms of cameras. I'm using, and I have used, my phone. Okay, so I have an iPhone. So if you're streaming through OBS Studio, which I'm going to get to later on in the list, there is a little plugin, a little app that you can get where you can connect your phone to OBS and you can use it as your main camera, which is great because, you know, cameras on phones these days are fantastic. This is being filmed on an iPhone right now. So I used that for quite a while. And then I was just looking for something a little bit different because I like to have my phone kind of available to me. So I got a papalook webcam, dirt cheap, nothing fancy about it. It just kind of sits there and does its thing. I would definitely recommend you get something that is 1080. You want to make sure it's in high def. 4K I think is completely unnecessary for live streaming. I don't think we're there yet. Correct me if I'm wrong. One issue that I had with the papalook is that it focus breathes. So I just found an app on the App Store that I can just click off the autofocus mode and boom, good to go. I'll put a link in the description below so you can check that out. You can also use a DSLR If you got an old Canon kicking around, well, guess what? They have a free utility that you can download and you can stream with your Canon camera, which is fantastic because the added benefit of using a DSLR is that you have a massive selection of lenses at your disposal. So for me on my Twitch stream, I use a nice little 50mm, the nifty 50 microphone. You can use at the very basics, a USB microphone. I've talked in previous videos about a USB microphone from the company Fine, who was kind enough to send it to me. Works very well. That's what it's for. Okay, it's for, it's kind of a web conferencing sort of microphone. Works very, very well. USB, no plugins required. You plug it in, you set it up as an audio input on OBS, and you're ready to go. If you're a musician, you're probably going to be looking to reach a little bit further, and chances are you're going to have a microphone with an XLR connection. Do you need an audio interface to get you started? Not necessarily, but if you're a musician, you're definitely going to be reaching for an interface. There's lots of budget options. Check out Focusrite, some great options, the Scarlett series, lots of good, really clean pre's, and very inexpensive. You're gonna need some kind of lighting. Chances are, depending on what your stream is, overhead lighting is gonna be your worst nightmare. Overhead lighting creates kind of nasty shadows and just makes for kind of an unpleasant look. You're probably gonna be looking for some kind of softbox is probably what I would recommend the most. I'm using one right here, and it just kind of creates a nice diffused look. If you can get one that has a dimmer switch, that's even better because then you can really dig deep and control your lighting. So that's what I would recommend. Upload speed. Forget about download speed. When you're live streaming, you need upload. So you could have 200 megabytes per second download, but if you're live streaming, it does not matter. You need upload speed. My plan caps out at 10 megabytes per second, which, by the way, is more than enough to live stream. Unfortunately, it's not always going to be outputting at 10 megabytes per second. It kind of fluctuates. We know that about internet. It's kind of up and down. Depending on your connection, you can always run tests on your setup, check your upload and download speed, kind of see where you're at and where you need to go. 10 for me is good when it's just me home, but when it's COVID and schools are closed and my wife's working from home, my kids are doing Google Meets for the classroom, it's all upload. 10 should be enough. I would recommend going higher if you can. If you can double it up to 20. The other thing you might want to invest in is some kind of mesh system like the Eero mesh system from Amazon. I'll leave a link in the description below. I got it on Amazon Prime Day, so I got it for maybe 50% off. So there's these little portable kind of satellite units you put throughout the house. It boosts your Wi-Fi signal, and then there's an Ethernet connection that goes directly into my computer. I used to live stream in the other room in my basement here, which was right beside the modem. I could get a nice direct connection, and it doesn't get any better than that. Okay, you're gonna want some kind of direct connection. Wi-Fi is probably not gonna do it. So if you can't plug directly into the modem, some kind of satellite system like the Eero system, I would highly recommend, works very well. How do you stream it out into the world? Well, you're gonna need some kind of platform to stream it out there. Probably the most popular is OBS Studio, which is free, which is great. It's pretty user-friendly once you get in there, and once you get things set up, you're basically having to set up kind of your video input, your audio input, and then some other kind of small things, but it's not as complicated as you might think. I was using it for a long time until I upgraded my system, and then something went wrong, as things frequently do when you upgrade systems. And OBS Studio is currently not working for me, so I switched to Streamlabs OBS. Luckily, you can import all of your settings from OBS Studio back and forth, so I didn't lose anything. It looks very, very similar in terms of the interface to OBS, and basically that's just your platform that gets you ready from taking your audio and video signal and boosting it out into the world. What is a stream key? That sounds really complicated and awful. No, it's not. It's like a key to your house. Okay, it's like a password. Okay, now depending on which platform you're streaming, whether it's Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, whatever it might be, they're all going to have their own independent stream key. So through the account of whatever platform it is, you copy the stream key, you paste it into your OBS through the settings, and that's it. It's just like a little key, I guess, to get into their server so it can broadcast your stream. From there, you can go nuts. Okay, the possibilities are endless. You're probably going to want to make your background somewhat interesting. There's people using green screens, lighting kind of all over the place, interactive lighting that can be controlled by your viewers. Eventually, you're probably going to want a couple of different camera angles. So for me, I kind of have a wide shot, and then I have my second camera, which gets my live looping set up with the RC505 and the keyboard. So, and who knows, I might eventually get more cameras. I mean, you can just go nuts. I mean, the possibilities are endless. There are so many streamers out there that are doing 10 times at least what I'm doing in my stream, but I'm still learning. So that's it, my friends. Those are the basics. That gets you up and running. It's going to be a little bit nerve-wracking when you do it at the beginning because you're putting yourself out there and things are going wrong, but that's a good thing. You want things to go wrong. People appreciate that. They're not going to live streams because they want it to be perfect. They're trying to capture some kind of connection between people, and they want it to be real. They're looking for realism. It's never going to be perfect. It's never even going to be close to perfect. You don't want it to be perfect. Perfect is boring. Okay, when things go wrong, that's kind of like the fun thing. Just have fun with it, you know? And the record function through either OBS Studio or Streamlabs OBS is going to be your best friend. I use it all the time. So before you actually go live with your stream, you can record yourself, and I do it over and over again. And anytime I change things, I record myself again, test different things, go back, listen to the video, watch the video, and then make small little kind of corrections from there. But just try to have some fun with it. That's it, my friends. I hope to see you in the live stream soon. Remember to like and subscribe. If there's any specific thing that I've covered today that you want more details, let me know, and I'll do it in a future video. Stay safe, my friends.